Step back in time with me, not to the grand villas or bustling forums of Pompeii, but to its darkest corners, into the lives of women history has tried to forget. Today, we're uncovering the heart-wrenching stories of Pompeii's enslaved prostitutes, told not through the words of powerful men, but through their own graffiti, scratched into the very walls that imprisoned them. When we think of Pompeii, we often picture the dramatic eruption of Vesuvius, freezing a Roman city in time. But beneath the ash lies a complex society, and within that society, a brutal system of exploitation. Prostitution was legal and widespread in the Roman Empire, and Pompeii was no exception. It had at least 25 brothels, with the most famous being the lupanar, which literally means wolf den. But who were the women who worked in these places? Overwhelmingly, they were enslaved. They were captured in wars, bought in markets, or born into slavery. Their names were often changed by their owners, given Greek or exotic-sounding names to appeal to clients. They were property with no rights, no freedom, and no control over their own bodies. Their lives were dictated by their masters, their days and nights a cycle of forced servitude. The lupanar of Pompeii is a chilling testament to their existence. It's a small, two-story building with cramped, windowless cells, each just large enough for a stone bed. Above the doorways, you can still see explicit frescoes depicting various acts. Historians once thought these were a kind of menu for clients. But a closer look suggests they served a more practical purpose for a diverse city like Pompeii, where patrons might speak many different languages. The images were a universal guide, a silent, grim instruction manual. The conditions were squalid. The rooms were dark, poorly ventilated, and offered no privacy. The women worked relentlessly, servicing a constant stream of men from all walks of life: sailors, merchants, and local citizens. Their earnings went directly to their owner, or lino. They might receive a tiny fraction, but it was never enough to buy their freedom. Disease was rampant, and their lives were often short and brutal. They were truly at the rock bottom of Pompeii's social hierarchy. But here is where the story takes a powerful turn. In the midst of this despair, these women found a way to reclaim a piece of their identity. They left graffiti. All over the walls of the lupanar and other brothels, archaeologists have found over 120 inscriptions. These aren't the writings of poets or politicians. They are the raw, unfiltered voices of the enslaved. What did they write? Their messages are a poignant mix of the mundane, the boastful, and the utterly heartbreaking. Some are simple records of their work. One inscription reads, "Here, I had sex with a man." It's a stark, factual statement of a transaction. Others are almost like a logbook. Felix had sex with Fortunata for 2 asses, an ancient Roman coin. This graffiti wasn't just idle doodling. It was a way of tracking business, perhaps even a way for the women to hold their clients or owners accountable, however feebly. Some graffiti takes on a more personal, almost boastful tone. A woman named Edis writes that she earned 16 asses. Another, Sabina, is simply described as "You're a real sweetie." Was this written by a client or by Sabina herself, trying to build a reputation? One famous inscription boasts, "Mirtis, you suck well." It's crude, but it is also a glimpse into how they were valued and how they might have tried to find some sense of pride in a profession that sought to strip them of all dignity. These women were competing with each other for clients and survival. Graffiti became a form of advertising. They would praise their own skills or sometimes insult their rivals. We see names scratched out and replaced. A silent battle for recognition fought on plaster walls. For example, we find a message. "Vibius Restitutus slept here alone and was thinking of his Urbana." It's a sweet note from a client, but it's found in a brothel, a space of commerce, not romance. The names themselves are a treasure trove of information. Names like Fortunata, which means lucky, or Felicia, meaning happy, are drenched in a cruel irony. These were common slave names given to them by their masters. But by carving their names on the wall, they were saying, "I am here. I exist." In a world that treated them as objects, writing their name was a radical act of self-assertion. We see names like Asalina, Smyrna, and Maria, likely Jewish, showing the diverse origins of these enslaved women. One of the most moving inscriptions is not from a woman, but seemingly from a client. It reads, "I screwed the barmaid." This single line, found near a tavern, reveals how blurred the lines were. Service staff, waitresses, and barmaids were often expected to provide sexual services as part of their duties. They were vulnerable and had little power to refuse. These messages completely change how we should view these spaces. The lupanar is not just a site of ancient vice. It's a memorial. Each scratch on the wall is a voice echoing from the past. It's a cry of pain, a declaration of existence, a moment of defiance. These women weren't just silent victims. They were active agents in their own lives, using the only tool they had, a piece of charcoal or a sharp object, to leave their mark, to communicate, to feel human. Think about it. In a place designed to erase their humanity, they wrote. They wrote about money, about clients, about themselves. They turned the walls of their prison into a public diary. This graffiti gives them back the voice that the historical records, written by elite Roman men, denied them. The official histories don't talk about Fortunata or Atice. They don't mention their struggles or their small victories. But the walls of Pompeii do. This discovery forces us to confront the uncomfortable truths of the Roman world, a world built on slavery and exploitation. It reminds us that history is not just about emperors and generals. It's also about the forgotten people, the marginalized, and the voiceless. And sometimes, their voices are waiting to be found in the most unexpected places, scratched into a wall in a dimly lit room. So the next time you see images of Pompeii, look beyond the beautiful mosaics and grand amphitheaters. Remember the women of the lupanar. Remember that they were not just prostitutes. They were enslaved individuals who, against all odds, fought to preserve a shred of their identity. Their graffiti is their legacy, a powerful and enduring testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable hardship. They refuse to be erased. And thanks to these messages left in the dark, we can finally hear their story. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into a lesser-known part of Pompeii's history. If you found this story as moving as I did, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.